Welcome to Inside Sim Racing. I'm Darin and Jason here with
Jason Dunnington.
And today we have a review of what we have sitting in front of us
This
here.
little monster, yeah.
The Next Level Racing wheel stand. I'd like to thank Pagnian Imports for sending this to us. I'd like to thank Hess. Been talking to him about this and really appreciate him hooking us up with this. So again, this is a wheel stand and lots to tell you about it before we get to our pros and cons. And first thing we're going to tell you is where you can get it.
Right.
Pretty much available worldwide. They have distributors in Australia, the UK, and the United Arab Emirates, or the Middle East. And you can also get it sent to the US.
Right.
Now, if you're in the US, you're looking at $295
To your door, though.
to your door. That's including shipping. And you have to go through the Australia site. Now, we're going to have all three different areas of different sites in our description, so if you're interested, you can go there. Otherwise, we're going to be putting up a bunch of different links.
Right.
So why don't you tell them the price from Australia?
Australia, that's $245. And in Europe, it ships over there. In UK, goes for 139 pounds or a little over 170 euro if you're outside of the UK.
And that's including shipping. They will ship free with that price. And then if you're in the Middle East, it goes for $13.99 United Arab Emirates dirham.
Interesting.
AED is how it was listed.
Ah.
So $13.99 AED. Again, shipping is included there as well. So now let's tell you a little bit about this wheel stand, or some of the features or specs. First of all, it's a dual arm support, no center post. Fully adjustable steering wheel height. And why don't you tell them about the pedals? Pedal deck.
Pedal deck, well, you got the diamond plate pedal deck. It is movable a little bit, and it adjusts, it slides out and slides in. Also comes with a cool little pedal stop, you know, for certain pedals that can't bolt into this, like a Driving Force GT.
Exactly. Some of the lower end wheels where you don't have hard mount points.
Yeah.
Comes with a gear shift mount, which Jason's got over there.
This little bad boy here. And the cool thing is, it is both right and left hand. You can put it on either side. So
yeah, most of you guys, if you're in Australia, UK, I think you guys are both left-hand shift. So
right.
You can go either way. We're right-hand shift, so obviously we had it mounted on the right.
Mm-hmm.
It has rubber protectors on the bottom, so if you've got a hardwood floor or tile floor and you don't want to scratch anything up. Also comes with this cool pad that, again, if you have wood floors or tile floors, you can put this down and set. And it's long enough to where you could put
a whole rig on it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You already mentioned the diamond plate.
Right. Does come with a bunch of little hardware and a cool little Allen key / Phillips head on the end for all. So when you get it together, you can throw any wheel on there and you don't have to
run out
go
to the hardware
store.
Yeah, exactly. They say it folds away in less than 5 seconds. Easy one-step action. And we just tested it out, and Jason's first time.
8 seconds. Yeah.
So this thing folds away, and it folds just exactly like we have it here. And it says you can either put it behind a door or under your bed. Now, I'd say to put it under your bed, you have to take off the shifter.
And the
wheel. Most likely the wheel, and then it's going to fold. The wheel's what's holding it up on this end right now.
Right.
So
it would be pretty flat. You might have to take the pedals off depending on how high your bed sits up.
Yeah, mine sits up high enough to where it would fit.
You would go on. I think mine does too.
Okay. Next thing, comes almost fully assembled. Assembly took about a half an hour, if that.
Yeah.
I think originally we had the wheel deck on backwards, so we just had to switch it around.
Right.
And then it actually comes with an extra little plate for a T500. Speaking of which, we have the Thrustmaster TX 458 Italia wheel set up with the TH8 RS shifter and the T3 PA pedals. All comes with holes, mounting holes for all of that.
Yep.
And again, like Jason says, comes with all the hardware you're going to need to mount all of this stuff. We use the hardware that came with it to mount the wheel, the pedals, and the shifter. And there's leftovers.
Yeah.
So
that's always a bonus.
Yep.
Gotta love that.
And it's compatible with all major wheel manufacturers. Right. Fanatic, Logitech, Thrustmaster. So you can hook up any one of those wheels and hard mount any one of them. Mm-hmm. There's also some upgrades. You can convert this into a full rig. They have a full rig called the GT Ultimate.
Yeah.
Which basically attaches the back half and a seat.
Right.
Which is little bit more expensive, about $650, and that's going to obviously depend on where you're at, but the price I think I saw was at the Australian website. You can also, with that, you can get a monitor stand that goes 1 to 3 screens. They have a flight add-on pack, so if you do flight sim stuff.
And you can switch it back over pretty quick, I'm sure, because this thing does come, you can disassemble and assemble it quite quickly.
Yep.
So that's
lots of knobs for setting stuff up. And again, like Jason said, there's holes on both sides for the shifter. And then the wheel deck, you basically tighten with knobs.
There's another little knob, yeah. Yep. And it has the holes in there, so you're not, trying to fit it up against the metal and the thing slides down over time. You actually stuff it inside a hole, and then it makes it very sturdy.
That's what she said.
Yes.
Okay, so...
like a twiga. Anyway.
So that's pretty much the specs. Comes with instructions. Oh, I meant to mention these too. Comes with some Velcro straps.
We gotta love those. That's
absolutely
awesome.
Yeah, it comes with pretty much everything
to plug and play and rock and roll. Really,
exactly.
Yeah.
You just took the words right out of my mouth. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Nice.
So let's go over some pros and cons, starting with the cons, which are very few. The first con is that you need a pretty low slung chair.
Yeah, we tried them in these, and even at the lowest, it was, well, you were kind of bumping your knees on them. I was like right there to where it was like, God, it would be nice to have a lower one, but other than that.
We used just a folding chair was what worked best for us. We got lots of footage of us driving here in that particular folding chair. Got to say that folding chair was my butt wet.
Not comfortable.
Yeah.
No,
folding chair was not comfortable.
Down low enough to where it was like, yeah, that's about right.
Yep.
A little lower even would be better.
So that's a con, and again, that's going to be based on what you have to sit in. I'd say if you could get like something like they have for the back half, like a nice racing seat or a car seat that you could mount to something and pull right up to this, that would be awesome.
Or a little do-it-yourself stuff. Build something, because the bottom screws down there, you can screw it into wood or whatnot and build your own little rig on the back of this.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Maybe some 2x4s coming off and just mount a car seat or something to it.
Yeah.
I think it'd work really well.
Exactly.
And then the next con, and this is, it's kind of you get what you pay for thing. It is a little on the pricey side compared to some other wheel stands.
Yeah.
But again, you get what you pay for, and let's go to the pros. When you're getting what you pay for, this thing is stable.
Incredibly stable. I was really shocked because I was wheeling that sucker, and I was impressed, flat out, that I wasn't expecting it. Yeah, I was expecting to feel the bouncing around a little bit, but it was only the wheel that was moving.
Most wheel stands too tend to do that. Actually, that last wheel stand we did, the accelerator that mounted to your chair, that one didn't move because you were on your chair. But a lot of the other wheel stands that we've tried may just be due to the design, how the deck extends, whatever it may be. There's side to side wobble or forward. This thing has like none, barely.
No.
I mean, not anything that's noticeable.
I didn't notice it, and I was cranking some serious corners.
And even with the shifter attached, you're banging through the shifters. This thing. It's heavy enough and stable enough with the design that it stays planted.
Yeah. What was the shipping weight about? What do you think? I think it was close to 35 pounds or so. I mean, this is pretty deep, beefy steel on this thing.
Yeah, I'd say. So what's the next pro?
Next pro would be, well, besides it being compatible with all major wheels on the market, all hardware mounted, pedals and shifters. You got
for those wheels.
Everything for those wheels, yeah.
So 2 pros there. Compatible with all wheels and all the hardware to come, that comes with it to mount it.
Yeah.
Another pro, adaptable to a full rig, like we had mentioned. Obviously, you got to pay for the back half, or like you had suggested, create your own with some wood or whatever.
Right.
But you can convert it into a full rig.
Yeah, which is sweet.
Yep.
Fair pricing considering what you got. I mean, there is cheaper out there, but this has some weight. It's definitely...
You know what a friend of mine used to call cheap? Cheap is expensive. You know
why? Because you
have
to buy it again.
Or you end up buying something better that's more expensive in the first place. So
exactly.
I would rather, if I was looking for a wheel stand, this would be at top of my list.
Yeah.
Because of the stability, all the accessories that come with it.
The adjustability and both, and the ability to, fold it up and throw, toss it off to the side.
Next pro, no center post.
Right, sweet.
I was heel and towing.
Yeah, I was watching that.
And I didn't even think about it. Right. I thought, that's another thing. When you're heel and towing, you're putting a lot of pressure down here. and this thing wasn't moving.
No, no.
It was staying stable.
It really was.
Next up, you're sitting right in front of you.
Yes. This sweet
Comes with
little
the shifter mount.
The shifter mount, yes. And the cool thing too, again, it was right or left side, which is sweet. Having that ability to, you know, if you jump into the Australian cars or something, you can toss it over there to try to get that full feel of...
We should, for the heck of it one day, try shifting on the left side.
We should have a competition with that. And
That's a good idea.
Shift it on the left side.
See who can adapt to it the quickest, man, because that's totally backwards.
That's serious adapting.
Well, no, I guess the gear pattern would be the same, but you're doing it... Yeah.
First is way far.
Yeah.
though. Yeah.
Because we're used to having first up next to us. So.
Right, right.
Next Pro, available worldwide. Again, you can pretty much get it anywhere in the world. And again, they don't have a U.S. distributor, but just go to the Australia site and you're paying $40 for shipping. So
Yeah.
not bad. Next up.
Fully adjustable for tall or short people. This little thing will slide all the way down. We're maxed out, I believe, that we set it on. And we got 5 holes that we can see, so we're on the 6th.
Now, we maxed it out pretty much for me, but could you have
I
moved
could
it down
have
a little
probably
bit?
went down 1 or 2, because when I got in there, even with the taller chair, I still had a pretty decent amount of leg room over from what you had.
I think that's really going to depend on the chair, too.
Yeah, seriously.
I could have, if I had a lower chair, I could have adjusted
We
it
could
down.
have dropped that down a lot more, for sure.
And the final pro is that you can fold it up, stick it behind your door, it stands up, or stick it under your bed.
Yeah.
So it's fully collapsible in 5 seconds. And I would imagine we could do it in 5 seconds.
Yeah, once I got it.
You did need to use a crescent wrench to loosen up this nut here.
Yeah.
But after
than
that,
that-
this knob, you just loosen it up and bam.
Slides right down or slides right open. No worries.
So that's going to pretty much wrap it up, except for some final thoughts and a Revs Scale. And my final thoughts are, besides needing, you know, a certain chair that is low, this stand's probably the best I've ever tried, as far as a wheel stand goes.
Yeah.
Some more final thoughts. Again, you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
Lots of cool accessories that come with it.
Cool diamond plate, bottom steel, makes it look pretty.
Yeah,
for sure.
built tough, cool powder coating on it. Looks cool. You know, so, you know, and it comes with things like the pedal backer, all the hardware you need to mount it, drilled for all the wheels.
Right.
Velcro, you know, so it's a full package. Pretty much closing it out, I'd have to say that this wheel deck and this setup is more stable than some rigs that I've tried.
I agree, because I've tried a couple rigs here that were a little sloppy. Well, my rig at home, my head bounces around a little bit. This has nothing, so
Revs Scale. I'm just gonna say it. We're gonna
give it a 5. Yeah,
5 out of 5. This, like Jason and I just talked about this off camera. I said, what structural or cons do we have with the overall unit? And we don't have any.
No.
So you need to get a lower chair. So figure it
deal.
out. I mean,
Right.
I mean,
Most rigs are way down here anyway.
Here's another thing. If
know?
you were sitting at a couch, it'd probably be fine. Couches usually sit lower.
Right, true. Well, like that couch over there is lower than our chairs, and
Yep.
yeah, sure.
Yep. So that's not really a con with this stand. The price, I really wouldn't even say that's a con.
It's reasonably priced because
Yeah.
it's not overpriced, and you're definitely getting a quality product out of it for sure.
Yep. Exactly. Again, you get what you pay for.
Yep.
So I think that's pretty much going to wrap it up. Any other closing thoughts before we go?
An incredibly stable unit for what you're getting. I mean, and the ability to upgrade farther to make it a full rig. Yeah, you can't go wrong.
We'd both recommend it. Thumbs up for me.
Big thumbs up, double.
Yeah, so that's going to wrap it up. Come to our website, isrtv.com. Lots of
Link right there.
Yeah, we have a link right here, and lots of other wheel stand and full rig reviews, software reviews, all sorts of stuff. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. For Jason Dunnington, I'm Darin Ganji. We'll see you guys next time.
Have a great one.